Needed to find a home for my doll, so I put it in the cabinet. When I opened the door again, the doll had turned into a living tiny person. My hand was shaking as I reached for it. Sharp pain shot through me. The tiny person's knife pierced my fingertip. I fought through the pain to talk to it, but finally believed I meant no harm, and carefully climbed onto my hand. I found a toy tent for it to live in. It touched the tent and shook its head, saying it was too hard. An idea suddenly flashed through my mind. I put the toy tent in the cabinet, just as I expected. When I opened it again, the plastic tent had become soft fabric. The tiny person smiled at me with gratitude. Late at night, after it fell asleep, quietly put my precious toys inside. The moment I opened the cabinet door, something terrifying happened. I quickly shut the door and put everything away. The next morning, the tiny person stood before me, said it wanted to build a real big house. I carefully carried it to the yard. The moment it stepped outside, the giant world left it stunned. I was busy preparing building materials when I suddenly heard a scream.
Shoo! Get out! No!
A bird had pecked off the tiny person's leg. My mind raced. I thought of a solution. I put a medic toy in the cabinet. When I opened the cabinet door again, it came back to life. My giant form made it turn pale with fear. I quickly explained and picked it up, placed it in front of the injured tiny person. The medic immediately understood what I meant and skillfully bandaged the wound. I watched everything through a magnifying glass. Mission complete. I put the medic back in the cabinet. One open, one close, and it turned back to a toy. The tiny person regained some strength, still dreaming of building its house, but it needed tools. I put in a knight toy while it was still confused from coming alive. I grabbed its axe before the knight could react. I turned it back into a toy. After giving the axe to the tiny person, I rushed off to school. At school, I wrote about the magic cabinet in my essay. The teacher had me read aloud in front of the whole class and praised my imagination. After school, I ran home. The tiny person had finished building its big house. That's when the tiny person told me it needed a bow and arrow. Hunting was its true nature. I brought a hunter to life, grabbed his bow and arrow, but the old hunter collapsed from shock and never got up again.
It's okay. No.
My heart sank to the bottom. Guilt washed over me like a wave. The tiny person silently buried the hunter, giving him his final dignity. When I returned to my room again, my heart nearly jumped out. My friends were playing with the tiny person's villa. I frantically chased them out. Luckily, the tiny person had already hidden under the desk, but my best friend discovered my secret. I had no choice but to tell him about the cabinet. I only left the room for a moment. My friend secretly put a toy inside.
No! No! Yes! No, it's not a game!